Hello, art lovers. I'm your little teapot, and this is Tiny Mike News.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only
Jay Jacob. She's a little teapot with a tiny mic, bringing you art, 'cause art is life. I'm Jay Jacob, and today on Tiny Mike News, I will be interviewing Traycee Williams, who is a all-around artist. We can start by saying painter, potter, chef, chef, and survivor.
Yeah, we could say a few things like that.
Your work is different. It's not different in that way that you're like, oh, that's different. It's different in a way that you're like, oh my God, how did you do that?
Oh, thank you. Good grief.
You have one picture that you did mention to me you did as a school project, and it was when you had to do your emotions or something. It's a picture of you with your face in your hand.
There is, it's a piece I did called Denial, and basically it was part of my, it was a junior project in one of my classes, and it was the first time that I had to work in a series when I was going to college. And I chose a series in something that I felt like I could connect with, and that was the stages of depression. And you might not know this about me, but back in 2003, my husband committed suicide. And I really struggled with that, obviously, and but that was the first death I'd ever experienced too.
Oh wow!
I had all my grandparents. I had all my, I'd never experienced a death, So it really threw me for a loop, and it's really funny because I never in a million years would have connected art and depression or healing or anything like that.
Right.
But I really believe in doing that series on depression. I believe it changed my life because the way I like to work is that I like to paint a little bit and I like to stare a little bit. And then I paint a little bit and stare a little bit. And I just want to make sure that it's correct. But I learned when I was doing this that face looking back at me was hard to look at.
Wow.
Everyone else was seeing that pained face, and that's the day I decided, that was the time in my life I decided that I didn't want to put that face out there anymore. It's really crazy because I don't want to sound like I was self-loathing or anything. I was just unaware, but I just believed that I had control over that. And I think art, gosh, and now when I feel bad, like when I got cancer, one of the first things I did was art.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you segued into it, and we'll discuss you surviving breast cancer.
Yeah.
And that process for you, and you survived it beautifully. I knew you before, and knowing you after, you have been beautiful the whole time.
Thank you.
And you inspire me.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about making it, first being diagnosed, and making it through with a positive attitude, no doubt.
Oh man, I just, I think just one of the core of my being is just, this feels better than this, and so to feel good and, not to burden anyone else with my troubles or anything, I think I just kept to myself a lot, but yeah, I was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer, and ended up with getting a bilateral mastectomy, and it was by choice. I needed to get a left mastectomy, but I chose for bilateral, and thank goodness I did, because they found that I had a lot of cancerous material, and so I'm really I feel better than I've ever felt.
And it shows. It shows. I remember you told me you felt more like a woman without breasts than you did when you had them.
I do, and I don't know why. I feel just more comfortable in my own skin, and I think it goes back to that androgynous sort of side of me. I think I don't recognize, sex or gender or color or things, and I really, spiritually, I just try to move towards a direction of just humanity all the time. And so I think in telling that story about not having breasts and being a jet engine mechanic, but yet being born, female, gosh, I didn't plan that.
Right.
I just am that.
Yeah. And you are 100% woman.
Yeah.
You're a tough old broad, but
Yeah.
you are very feminine.
Yeah.
But not.
But not.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
do what I want.
Well, I'll say this: you're ladylike.
Yeah.
You're a lady.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it's just being polite.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Now your pottery.
My pottery.
Let's talk about your pottery. We have a bowl that you're working on. Is that what we're unwrapping the bowl?
Yes. This is my latest piece that I'm working on, and basically it is going to be a lampshade.
Oh, it's not a bowl, it's a lampshade. Okay.
It's going to be a lampshade.
Okay.
I'm striving for something a little more mid-century modern in this. I've got a lamp I can't find a shade for, so I decided to create my way right to fixing the lamp.
Wow.
So,
That is awesome. And this stage of pottery, because that hasn't been fired yet, so it's still a little bit soft.
Yes.
But it has the shape that you want it to have.
I'm probably going to do a little bit of carving in it to, like that 1970s mess with the little stars and diamonds and stuff in there, and that way it'll give me a little bit more light, maybe lighten it up a little bit. But this is the leather hard stage. It's a great place to carve and work with. And then we're going to biscuit. It'll get it kind of hard. Fire it, not biscuit. I must be hungry.
Biscuit. Me too.
But I'm going to bisque fire it, then I'll glaze it, and we will fire it again, and then it'll be finished. But piece of pottery takes about a month. It's helped me learn to be a little more patient with my art, a little more engaged in my art.
Now, looking around your studio, your workspace, I see that you have other artists' work displayed. I'm very curious about this particular cartoon of you. Tell me a little bit about.
This is a piece that a local, I would call him an underground artist, if I had to describe. Guy Simmons is his name, and he really thinks that I bring out the love of art in people.
I agree. I agree with him.
And so he did this caricature of me.
So we've come to the point in our interview where I ask all artists 2 questions. Are you ready?
Hold on, let me check.
First question is,
Okay.
what is art to you? Second question, why do you create?
I'm going to answer it backwards.
Okay.
And I create because I think the best description is an analogy on this, and I think for those that don't know, my oldest child is gay, and there was never a day that he came to me and said, "Hey, I'm gay." He didn't even acknowledge that there was something different about him. And I think art was the same way. I never acknowledged. There was never a day that I said, "I got to create art. I just have to." And so it's, I create because I have to. And it's just something, even right down to cooking dinner, planting seeds in my garden in different rows so that they look prettier when they come up.
Oh, wow.
It's just, my whole life has been about just creating and doing stuff with my hands. And the other question was, what is art to me?
What is art to you?
I think I can appreciate when one's essence comes out in a way that shows the rest of us who they are. And there's each artist has their own mark. Each artist does things only in a way that they can do them.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Tiny Mike News. That concludes today's segment. Deuces and smooches.